Okay, if you want to get off a starter planet, then the first thing you want to do is find a place that has stone, 4 stone nodes, 1 copper node, and 1 iron node. Then go over to the iron node and start mining. Remember, the stone nodes should be relatively close to each other so that you can easily craft it. Mine enough iron to make a extractor, then walk away from the extractor and iron to make a bin. This is so that the extractor doesn't eat the iron or extractor up. Place the extractor onto a stone node and then place the bin onto the extractor. Scale the extractor to be 10 by 10 by 10. This is so that it can hold the max amount of items. Lock them and then configure the extractor to sulfur, making sure to spell it with a capital. Click apply and then mine the stone node. You're going to want to mine for a piece of sulfur. Take it to a copper node and then mine the copper. Make a wire and then a battery. Place the battery onto the extractor, and now you should start creating sulfur. Go back to the iron node and mine for another extractor and bin. We're pretty much going to be doing the same thing except for copper. If you get a piece of iron stuck in the bin, then you can get it out by pressing V and then iron. If you get the extractor stuck in the bin, just make another bin. Place the extractor onto the copper node and then place the bin onto the extractor. Scale it up. Again, we're just repeating the same thing for sulfur, so you can... Yeah, I think you know how to do this. Alright, now that you have copper, we need a iron extractor. Do the same thing as you did for copper, but for iron. Now make a wire and then a battery. Place the battery onto the extractor and you should start making iron. Now make a spawn point. Drag it and then lock it. And now you will spawn at your spawn point. Now create a extractor. Place the extractor onto a stone node. Then make a bin. Place the bin onto the extractor, scale it up. Actually, you don't need to scale this up, I think I'll keep it the same. Configure the extractor to stone. Then make a kiln. This will turn sand into glass. Then make a pulverizer. This will turn stone into sand. Make 2 bins. Place the pulverizer onto the bin, then place a bin onto the pulverizer, then place a kiln onto that bin, and then a bin onto the kiln. Lock it all. Make 3 wires, then 3 batteries. Place the batteries onto the stone extractor, the pulverizer, and then the kiln. This will start producing glass. Now mine for a ruby. Make a piece of wire and then create night vision goggles. This is so that you'll be able to see through the night. Now create 2 extractors and 3 bins. Place the extractors onto a stone node, then configure them to silicon, and flint. Place a bin on each of them. You don't need to scale up the flint bin, but you will need to scale up the silicon bin. Lock both of them. Then take the sulfur bin off the sulfur extractor and place a bin onto it. Scale it. Then configure the extractor to quartz. Then make 30 wires and 30 batteries. Do as many as you can. Then place the batteries onto the copper, silicon, quartz, and one onto the flint bin. Flint extractor. Alrighty, now that you've placed a battery on all of the extractors, start crafting the ship. You'll go into the link in the description, copy everything in it, then go back into the game, press N or click this models, the arrowy thing, paste it in, and load. This will give you a prompt on everything you need to craft to create the ship. I'm just going to start off with crafting a whole ton of wires, because wires are pretty much necessary in all of the recipes. Alrighty, if ever you have a bunch of red stuff on your start thingos, this means it's going to get deleted, so drag all of the important items so it doesn't get deleted. I believe this stops the deletion because it is now an active item. Now, once you have every single item crafted, you're going to need to find a open space, press N, and load. All I need is a few more wires, and now I can load. Once loaded, you will notice that this ship is kind of small, but it gets the job done. Before you take off, you're going to need to flip this polysilicon to be flip-flop. This is so that you can turn it on and off. Make sure to change these buttons. These are keybinds. This button controls the antenna, which controls the thruster. So I'm going to make this R. This controls the anchor. Controls whether it is stopped or is going. I'm going to change this to F. And the stutter liner is important. I'm not sure why, but it is important. So yeah, I'm just going to make this like H or something. Now that your spaceship is built, there's a few things you're going to want to do. First of all, you want to get your spawn point, and you're going to want to take it into your ship. You're also going to want every single one of your items. This is so that it'll be easier to make a starter base. Make sure to shrink the bins down. This is just for convenience and no other reason. If you do want extra materials of anything, you can just craft some wires and then place a battery onto the extractor that you want more of. Make sure to grab the glass and stone bin, the silicon and flint bin, make sure you have all of your bins before you take off. Now this thing is a star map. It pretty much shows you where all of the stars are and where you can travel. Remember to travel to each stars, as this ship is run off solar panels, so you kind of need stars to survive. Press the mode to see the planets nearby, and this thing is the hyperdrive. Pretty much just click it, and yeah, you get a bunch of coordinates. As you can see, my coords right now are 63, 25, 4, and -2. Now, if you put all of these into the hyperdrive, then you will be shot into space. This is a much better method than just pointing your spaceship up and just hitting the throttle and going up, as it requires a lot less energy. And in a second, I will show you what happens when you do that. Also, make sure that before you use this, you're going to want to create a new group. Pretty much, I'm going to make a new group, and as you can see, turn all of these off, except the unlock. You're going to want that on. Click it, and then press each of the walls. This is so that you don't accidentally click it in space with the drag tool. To test if this works, or walk away from it, press size, click it, and if you can still move it, then it means something went wrong. Yeah, that's a little bit buggy, but group 3 is mine, so I'll just use this. Once you have done that, make sure that it actually works. If it doesn't, well, no, that's kind of annoying. It's probably because you don't have it on the group or something. It doesn't really matter. If you don't do this, just make sure not to have the drag tool out. So yeah, as you'll notice, this isn't the most efficient ship in the world, but hey, it's a ship, and yeah, that's pretty good, right? I'm just gonna have to wait till day before I can go to space. If it's nighttime and you still really want to go to space, what you can do is you can make I'm gonna make like 4 wires, and I'm gonna make 4 batteries, and then you can place these batteries onto each of the components. As each battery has 400 power, this is definitely enough. Now, before flying, make sure to turn your anchor off, and you will be allowed to move now. Now, before you fly, make sure that you have all your items. Press this button and get to a seat. Remember, if you have friends flying with you, you're going to want to make an extra seat for them so that they come along with you. If you don't, well, then you're probably going to have to come back to the planet and find them. Now congratulations, you're out in space. This is probably the part of where most other YouTube tutorials end, and you never see another video from them ever again, and you're just out in space going, huh, now what? Well, I'm gonna try to, in my next tutorial, I'll teach you how to get off how to find a good planet, and how to make a base. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.